Hello everybody. Today we wanted to celebrate the new year by showing you the snakes that we got last year. 2023 was a really good year for what we added. In fact, it was the biggest year. We're kind of tapped out on space, so there's not going to be too much more adding at this point, at least for now. It will probably be replacing is more the case when we buy new snakes or when we breed them ourselves to get holdbacks, because that's going to be a very real thing this year. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started and show you one of the first snakes that we added that was already ready to breed this year. First up, our banana clown. We were told she could possibly be leopard. I'm not really too sure about that, but she is a visual banana clown, and she has officially made size. She's a little over 1,500 grams. When I got her, she was about 1,000 grams. She had been a picky eater, so it took her a little bit longer. She didn't eat right away for me, but finally I got her to go. She has had one successful lock, and even though I didn't get him this year, I'll show you the male afterwards. He is going to her, and I have potential to make a lot of great stuff with clown this year. You can see why people thought maybe this was leopard, especially as they grow. Banana clowns are going to change, just like a lot of morphs do. You can kind of see here, you can kind of see more regular pattern. Here it does look very leopardy at times, but that could be because of the fading kind of tricking people. I really can't wait to do some crazy stuff with banana clown. Banana eyes are interesting. They almost have like a little bit of a red tint to them, like a black and red tint I've noticed, but hers are more, feel like a golden brown, or you do see some red in there in the camera. I can see it. But anyways, she's a really cool example. I promised I'd show the male that she's breeding to, even though he's not part of our pickups, and he is a proven breeder now for me. I got him from Justin, but he's a really good example. I can't wait to make some banana spot nose clowns. He has GHI in him as well. So obviously if the banana clown does end up being leopard, that obviously has some Batman potential in there as well. Before moving on to the rest of the snakes in that rack, I wanted to show the only non-ball python that we have here today, and that would be an albino, 66% het Sable, 66% het Axanthic. She is a female, and she's hiding. She likes to move all of her, I don't know how she does this, she moves all of her stuff in there and sits on her little throne. Isn't she beautiful? This is, of course, a hognose. Western hognose or plains hognose, however you want to call it. Most people still call it a Western hognose, and she's gorgeous. I can't wait to see what I can do with this. I'm very excited for hognose. Hognose is one I am for sure gonna work. She's a great eater, by the way. I'm gonna go ahead and move forward and probably get some other hognoses, but hognoses have always been a passion of mine. I love their little sassy attitude. I love their stupid little faces. Today was actually her feeding day. She is on frozen thaw. So let's see, she's actually a really good feeder. I recently switched her to rat. There you go. Hognoses are cool because they just take it. Alright, well, we'll leave her be, but she is really neat. I really love the bright, vibrant colors of her. Alright, continuing on, I actually have to get the little step stool out here. We have a banana pastel pied. I got this one also as a full breeder. He looks like he's going into shed. He's definitely going into shed. I have made banana hides before, not with pastel in the mix. He is usually a little more vibrant. I think pastel works good with pied, and I think it works good with banana pied. But he is a means to an end while I grow out another male. In the meantime, I still kind of needed something, and I wanted it to be a little different rather than just what I was doing. He I got at the auction at Tinley. And if you haven't been to an auction and an RBC show, or any reptile show for that matter, you should go, because they're fun, for one, and two, you can get some really good deals, and third, they're for a good cause. A lot of times they're for US ARC, which protects our rights. Next up, one I got most recently, and I'm very excited about this. This is a Blackhead Enchi Lavender het pied, which is possible Yellowbelly. I got her from Justin as well. I got into Lavender from a different male, the same male I was mentioning earlier that I'm breeding out for the pied project. He happened to come with a het lav, and I figured might as well do at least a few things, and I'm very happy that I happened upon that, because then I later found her. Blackhead is something I've wanted to add for a while. It is a very, very cool morph. I like the darkening genes, but this shows you that doesn't exactly always make that. You say Blackhead is a dark morph. Is this a dark snake? I think not. They go very, very well together. She is gorgeous. I am very, very excited to work the project that I'm going to with her. And we will get to the male I'm going to pair her with eventually as well. But in her own right, she's absolutely gorgeous. The bursts in colors is just absolutely nuts. And I think the camera is doing a good job at capturing how gorgeous she is, but it's actually not getting everything. There are pinks in her, and these yellows and oranges are just something very unique, not something that you normally would see. I also think she's going into shed, if that tells you anything right there. Absolutely wonderful animal, and I really can't wait for her to keep growing. She's already been eating very well, gaining some size. I'm excited. It'll probably be another couple years, but man, when that time comes, boy oh boy will I be happy. Next up would be an animal that we added in March at Tinley, and that would be the Sterling Puzzle, which is also Pos Daddy or Pos Weirdo. No offense to whoever named the one Daddy, but I feel uncomfortable saying it, so I'm probably gonna just call it Weirdo. They're the same thing, from my understanding. I've had it pretty much confirmed now that she is god dang in shed. She's pretty nice even in shed, honestly. What I really like about the puzzle is just what it does to the pattern. And here you see that it's just squishing it into this one line that just kind of goes down each side of her. She's gonna be ready for me next year. Eventually I will go obviously down other puzzle routes, but right now I'm looking to combine her with another recessive that I don't think has been successfully done yet, although I do not believe I will be the first one to get there because I'm already seeing double hets, but we'll get to that in a bit. But she has a very bright and peachy belly and sides. It's not something that on normal snakes that you see. Normally, if you have the sides come up that far, it's like white. What I really like, I think, in this snake is the fact that these sides come up so uniquely, but the fact that it can pull them up while still maintaining a fairly busy side. It feels like it's somehow keeping neat and chaotic in the same sentence. But she represents a big step forward for us here. I'll say this about a lot of my snakes. I can't wait till they breed, and I'm literally always gonna say that because I'm a broken record when it comes to them. And when I see her babies, I'm gonna say I can't wait for what they create when I actually hopefully hit the double visual. Next, moving on, will be actually, I'll just give it away, that's the gene I'm hoping to combine it with, is Monarch. Now, of course, this is not the one, because this is a girl. This would be a Het Monarch that we picked up in March. We brought in a lot this year, I wasn't kidding. And she is very big. She has been a great eater. I'm hoping that she gets past the 1,000-gram wall. If she does that, she's on track to also breed next year. Obviously, looking at them, you don't see too much of a difference. It just kind of looks like a normal. When I spoke to Tom Harbing, who I've bought all of my monarchs from, he did mention something that I've seen on them as well, and that would be near the tail of a lot of Het monarchs. It starts to change, and you can see the tail here. There's no chance in hell that you would ever say this is a normal from here to the tail. And I know the tail can kind of taper off, but not like this. Up here, very normal bull python, but down here, that's different. And he says he sees it a lot in the hets, and I've been seeing it as well. So I've got pretty darn good chances to create visual monarchs next year. Well, not next year, but I'll be pairing them next year for that season. And then I should hit them as long as she goes. Moving on, another one that I picked up, and these were a package deal, so I'm just going to show them off kind of at the same time, and that would be a Pastel double het Monarch G-stripe and a double het Monarch G-stripe male. This one has Pastel in it as well, and Pastel looks really good in Monarch. You kind of see here, this is kind of like a Pastel, but near the tail, it starts to get very chaotic. So again, to that het type nature. I got these again as a part of a package deal, and again, as part of the auction. So go to a Tinley Park auction, because these were a very good deal. So again, another Het Monarch, which also represents something that I never thought I'd get into really, with G-stripe. I think it's very heavily underrated, along with Tri-stripe for that matter, but it just wasn't something I thought I'd get into. So, and here's the male. He's a tad bit smaller, but he will obviously be able to go a little bit sooner. However, I don't really have any plans for him other than to breed with her to create double recessives. These two snakes probably represent getting a Monarch G-stripe of my own. After that, these two snakes will probably go to someone else as proven breeders, so it'd be an opportunity for someone else to get in right away. So nothing too crazy when you see them, but again, it's about what's underneath the hood. And then finally moving on to another snake that we got. This would be our visual Monarch, and he is two size and locking, and this is what I want you to see. This is a clean, bright, beautiful animal, and its chocolatey, mahogany looking undertones are what sells it to me right here. And this is where, when people say there's no difference or that it's not subtle enough of a difference between Ultramel and Monarch, this is where they are wrong. I love Ultramel. Ultramel is beautiful. This is not Ultramel. This is a bright, clean snake. This looks like it has Desert Ghost in it, and it does not. Two copies of the Monarch gene, and that is what you get. And you are going to hold these beautiful colors, and is why Pastel works very, very beautiful, because if you see Pastel Desert Ghost, they are beautiful. To me, Monarch just has so much amazing potential. I'm obsessed with these chocolatey browns. A lot of people say brown is not a good color, it's a bad color, but that's so incorrect, it's not even funny. Some browns are not exactly appealing, I will say that, but that's because you're focusing the wrong browns. This is like wood cabin, beautiful looking animal. He's gonna go to a lot for us. This year, I'm putting him to a super pastel Russo clown. Thank God that the new genetic testing had Russo in there, because Russo can be difficult to find, honestly, and I don't want to hold back two Russos, a male and a female, out of that. Obviously, everything I'm going to get is a pastel double het monarch clown, and that's really what I want, is the monarch clowns, because they're insane. I want to go for that. Obviously, everything's going to be a pastel, which is fine again, because I love pastel and monarch, but I don't want to do 2 copies of the Russo gene, but 2 copies would get me an all-white snake, and boy oh boy would that suck. Nothing against the bells, I love bells, but not in this instance. So thank God for the testing, which we did do a video on that. We're gonna send in the babies we hold back to make sure that we don't get 2 with the Russo gene, so that does not happen, because that literally, along with Puzzle, just got released. Other than that, this year he is also going to a couple pied project that we have, and we're also going to try to see if it's compatible with Caramel Albino. I don't think it's been done. I don't think it will also be compatible. I'm not even sure I want it to be. But anyways, I figured I'd try to do that because I want to go for the double hets anyways. So he's going to a few different females there as well this year. I know I alluded to it earlier, but obviously we want to pair Milk Dud with our cinnamon puzzle up here as well. I don't think I'll be the first one to do this. I believe there's a double recessive for sale right now, but I think that this is going to be nuts. So that's something I'm very excited about. I would love to hit it with a cinnamon as well. We've got one more here, and that would be an Enchi Orange Dream Pastel Pied, and he is Het Lavender as well. And this is what caused me to end up getting the Lavender het pied female that was Blackhead up there. Basically, I just wanted to improve my male for the pieds. So he's getting to size, he's getting very close here. I didn't want to even chance him going this year. So next year, he'll be good to go. And I'm very excited to see what I can create with him, which will be through a lot of my pied project, honestly. But in the end, he'll also be going to that Blackhead, Enchi, Lavender, possible Yellowbelly. There's a beautiful amount of snakes you can get from this. The Blackhead being a part of it. He has Enchi as well, so there's super Enchi in there that can be potential with the Yellowbelly, Pastel. These create vibrant, beautiful snakes, especially if I can hit Lavender. There's a lot I can create from what I have and from the eventual pairing with that Blackhead. It's very nice, and I'm very happy and pleased with where the future is going for us. These snakes are not just your run-of-the-mill pieds to clowns or anything like that. This represents the next step for us. So that would conclude everything that we added in 2023. I hope you really enjoyed the video, and here's to a really great 2024 for us and all of you included.